Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Oleksandr Usyk has barely set foot in the heavyweight division and he's already talking of a potential fight with Deontay Wilder down the line. So when he was asked by IFL TV if he wanted to face Wilder, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, he responded by saying, "Of course I want to fight them. But right now, at this point, the most I want to fight is Wilder, because he has the green belt and green is my most important colour." At the moment, Oleksandr Usyk is the WBO mandatory challenger, so his route to Wilder would seemingly be winning the belt and then trying to unify. So we'll have to see what happens in 2020, which way results go, and how matchups can be made, because obviously undisputed is easier said than done. Meanwhile, Joey Dawejko, who was potentially in line to face Oleksandr Usyk on October 12, has been left fuming after he signed a contract, but then the fight was given to Chaz Witherspoon to face Usyk. So in a post on social media, you can see here on screen, he responds to the announcement of Usyk and Witherspoon by saying, "BS fight. You know this is BS. Matchroom sent me a contract last night and I signed and returned it right away. You chose an easier fight." And in the actual post itself, so he's sort of taken a screen capture of the announcement and his comment within the comment section, but in his post he says, "They sent me a contract last night to fight Usyk. I signed it, sent it back right away. This is BS." His words were they wanted an easy fight on short notice. Hashtag Matchroom did me dirty. So Joey Dawejko not very happy indeed, and obviously he thought he was getting that fight. He had a contract, he says he signed it, sent it back. He was left waiting and wanting, and the fight ended up going to Witherspoon. So understandably so that Joey Dawejko is a bit angry. Obviously they had feelers out to a number of fighters, but they chose ultimately to go with Witherspoon, who is 38 years old, has barely been active in recent years, and is probably a softer touch than Joey Dawejko. But we'll see what happens with Usyk and Witherspoon. Deontay Wilder says he deserves to be undisputed. He says there will be one champion, one face, one name. He goes by the name of Deontay Wilder. If it all goes well, it ain't just up to me, but I speak with confidence. I know all things come to plan. It's up to other people to get their jobs done, but I believe that when they do, the world is going to see one of the biggest fights of their lives. What other man deserved than I? I am a leader, a king, a ruler. I have power in my tongue. Things come to pass when I speak. And then in another story, and also talking to Sky Sports, he says, "I have to bet on myself. I move how I want to move. I run my operation. It will go Ortiz, then Fury, then unification. One champion, one face, one name. How amazing would that be? Back to back to back, obtaining a glory." It's amazing to be in the heavyweight division with so much excitement, because when I was coming up, there wasn't so much. We were in pursuit of just getting to this point, so it's an overwhelming feeling. You're not looking at an Olympic sensation that popped up out of nowhere. After I medaled for my country, I went back to club shows. I had to work my way back up. I appreciate the journey. It allowed me to become who I am. And whether we get to see unifications, undisputed, whatever, well, 2020, it really looks like that will unlock the key to that question, because 2019 has been a little bit of a write-off, no unifications, and really not too many big fights. It really has been a bit of a disappointing year, but we do have a couple of high-profile rematches the back end of this year, Wilder and Ortiz and Joshua and Ruiz. So we'll see what happens with those ones and what sort of 2020 holds for us as heavyweight boxing fans, because I got to say, it's been a little bit of a lean year overall. And in terms of the next few days, apart from Usyk and Witherspoon, we have a few prospects in the ring who will be fighting. We have Vlad Sirenko. He is facing Ivan de Berardino. That will be on a card in Germany. And on the same card, a fellow prospect, Oleksandr Zakhozhyi. He's 12-0, just like Sirenko. Zakhozhyi will be facing Kevin Johnson. So it seems to be a rite of passage in the heavyweight division. You know, if you're going to go anywhere in the heavyweight division, you have to face Kevin Johnson at some point. Just sort of seems to be one of those guys that a lot of up-and-coming prospects are testing themselves against these days. And Johnson, pretty faded and jaded at this point in his career, a record of 34 and 14 losses and 1 draw. So Zakhozhyi, big 6'9" fighter. I think he really will sort of keep Kevin Johnson at the end of his jab. I think he'll look to try pepper Johnson with what he's got, but as we know, Kevin Johnson, it's easier said than done getting him out of there. I predict that one will go to a decision. But I do think Vladislav Sirenko, who is facing Ivan Deberedino, I think he will probably get the stoppage there. Both of these guys, Sirenko and Zakhozhyi, they're out of the Ukraine, although Sirenko has been campaigning in South Africa, of all places, for a decent chunk of his career. But Sirenko, if you haven't caught him before, he's an exciting talent. Zakhozhyi, he's big, 6'9". He's actually moves well for his size. We'll have to see where these two can go in the next year or two, but Sirenko, he is high on my prospect watch list. Elsewhere in France, we have Cyril Lionnay contesting the French heavyweight title against Newfell Owatar. Both these guys are pretty shot at this point in their careers. Lionnay 15-10, Newfell Owatar has a record of 16-3, but if you've seen any of his recent fights, he was taken out in a round by Junior Fa. Didn't look great, so hard to say where this one will go. It might end up going to a decision. Elsewhere, we have Cassius Chaney. He's back in action in the next couple of days in Hartford, Connecticut against Santander Salgado. That's actually the opponent that Chaz Witherspoon last fought. That was earlier this year. And also in the UK, we have UK prospect Ryan Charles, 6-0. He is taking on Steve Bodger at the York Hall in Bethnal Green. Anyway, I'll leave it there. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.